After careful consideration of the evidence presented, the court handed down a sentence that reflected the gravity of Letby's crimes. She was sentenced to life imprisonment with no prospect of release, making her only the
lock her up, throw away the key. Nah. Yeah, you going to hell, baby girl. Bye! Alright, YouTube, you clicked the title, you read the page. We are reacting to 5 young serial killers currently in prison. Now, here's the thing, right? Serial killers are very rare. You feel me? Like, it takes a lot to be, like, it's been a while since we heard of, like, an actual serial killer. You know what I'm saying? Now, to be young and to be a serial killer, it's like, what happened? Usually serial killers are old. They done had a chance at life. Didn't work out for them. They're selfish. They don't know how to bring harm to themselves, so they harm everybody else. But it's like when you young, it's like, what happened? That's why I be telling people, not all children are blessings. I'm telling you, some kids end up like this. Serial killers. Anyway, you want to run 3,000 subscribers. Subscribe for the vibe. Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great. Let's just get into it. I don't even want to waste too much time. Because, like, what's wrong with y'all? And, of course, look, see? As soon as we start the video, look, somebody.
Letby.
The smile's gone, and she's in handcuffs a few minutes later.
In order to understand the shocking crimes committed by Lucy Letby, it is important to delve into her background and early career. Letby, born in the late 1980s, grew up in a seemingly ordinary family in the United Kingdom. Little did anyone know that this unassuming young woman would later become one of the most notorious killers in the country's history. At first, Letby appeared to be a dedicated and compassionate nurse, earning the trust.
Oh no, she was around the babies? Why they had her around the babies knowing damn well something ain't right in the water?
Trust and respect of her colleagues and superiors. Her calm demeanor and apparent commitment to her patients made her a valued member of the healthcare team. Little did anyone suspect the dark secrets she harbored beneath her professional facade. As Letby's career progressed, her actions took a sinister turn.
That's why I smoke. Stuff like this.
Over a 13-month period from 2015, she embarked on a chilling spree of child murder within the very walls of the neonatal unit.
Come on, you sick, twisted little beep. Why you bringing harm to these babies, you weird ass beep?
She worked in, injecting the infants with insulin or air and force-feeding them milk. Letby carried out her heinous acts with a calculated and cruel precision.
There have been more deaths than I've been linked to something that's there for a lot of them.
The true extent of Letby's crimes only came to light after a thorough investigation by the authorities. The shocking discovery of 7 innocent lives lost at the hands of a trusted nurse sent shockwaves through the community.
Yo, I was telling my homie the other day, like, yo, when I go to the doctor, you know when they about to, like, give you your blood work and everything, because I would hope that you guys going to get your blood work tested very frequently. You know, that's something that you not, like, don't play with your health. Health is wealth. I don't know if I'm the only one that do this, apparently, because he was looking at me like I was crazy. I stare at them open everything. I want to see I want fresh needles. I want fresh everything. I don't trust my doctor. I don't trust my nurse. I know what you think, TTs. That's your doctor. I don't care. You're human just like me. You probably smoke the dope just like me. You get drunk just like me. You chill, you vibe out, you go out, you have hangovers just like we're human. So no, I don't trust you because you're human just like me. And because you're just like me and you're human just like me, you indulge in certain activities. So because of that, just because you clock in don't mean you're this superhero. Hell no, you still human. And I'm gonna make sure you don't make no human mistake. Sick.
And left everyone questioning how such a horrific series of events could have unfolded undetected.
This was a cruel, calculated, and cynical campaign of child murder involving the smallest and most vulnerable of children, knowing that your actions were causing significant physical suffering.
The trial of Lucy Letby, the killer nurse responsible for the deaths of 7 newborn babies, gripped the nation as the shocking details of her crimes were.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If that was my baby, she would have, man, because then now she in jail. So it's like, how you gonna get to it? But like, I'd have been cutting up in the courtrooms. Like when they dealing with the trial, I'd have been cutting up. They would have had to arrest me too, because I would have been knocking her head off her shoulders.
were brought to light. Letby's actions, described by the judge as a cruel, calculated, and cynical campaign of child murder, left the courtroom in disbelief.
During the course of this trial, you have coldly denied any responsibility for your wrongdoing and sought to attribute some fault to others. You have no remorse. There are no mitigating factors.
Throughout the trial, Letby showed no remorse for her heinous acts. Her lack of emotion and refusal to hear her sentence being handed down only added to the chilling nature of her crimes. The families of the victims, already devastated by their loss, were further traumatized by Letby's callous demeanor. After careful consideration of the evidence presented, the court handed down a sentence that reflected the gravity of Letby's crimes. She was sentenced to life imprisonment with no prospect of release, making her only the
Lock her up, throw away the key. Nah. Yeah, you going to hell, baby girl. Bye!
fourth woman in Britain to receive a whole life order. This means that Letby will spend the rest of her life behind bars, never to be released back into society.
Lucy Letby, on each of the 7 offences of murder and the 7 offences of attempted
We found you guilty and dirty.
murder, I sentence you to imprisonment for life. Because the seriousness of your offences is exceptionally high, I direct that the early release provisions do not apply.
The severity of the sentence was a testament to
That's her? She look crazy as hell. They hired her as a nurse? It made me choke.
the deep malevolence in Letby's actions and the devastating impact they had on the victims' families. It was a moment of justice for those who had suffered unimaginable loss at the hands of a trusted healthcare professional. The sentencing of Lucy Letby sent shockwaves through the nation, prompting a collective reflection on the vulnerability of those in our care and the importance of safeguarding the most innocent among us. It also raised questions about the motives behind Letby's crimes, as the police investigation failed to uncover a clear motive for her actions. In light of the shocking nature of this case, an inquiry has been ordered to further investigate the circumstances surrounding Letby's crimes. This inquiry aims to uncover any potential failings within the healthcare system that may have allowed Letby to carry out her heinous acts undetected for such a prolonged.
Exactly. But yo, let me not even talk too much about the UK though, because we had a situation like that in Jersey. Dude was going around killing people. Same thing, similar, exactly to what she was doing to babies. He was doing that to adults. Sick and twisted. Talking about he didn't want them to suffer no more. Now he in jail, and guess who's paying for him to eat meals and stuff? Us. I don't understand why they just be sent to these people because of death. Like, just kill them. I don't know. I believe in that. Like, just get rid of them. It's a waste of space.
Long period of time. Ethan Crumbly.
What's happening?
In a chilling case that has shocked the nation, a teenager responsible for the deaths of 4 fellow students at Michigan's Oxford High School is now facing the possibility of a life sentence in prison. The ruling came from Judge Kwame Rowe, who declared that there is only a slim chance for rehabilitation for the
Judge waves on swim, so they hate on him.
young shooter, Ethan Crumbly, after the tragic attack that took place in 2021. During a video conference, Judge Rowe delivered the decision, which followed weeks of intense hearings involving experts who clashed over Crumbly's mental health and witnesses who vividly described the terror they experienced on that fateful day. The sentencing is scheduled to take place in Oakland County Court on December 8th, providing survivors and families with an opportunity to share how the shooting has forever altered their lives.
The court finds that the evidence at this point shows that defendant's possibility of rehabilitation is slim. Defendant continues to be obsessed with violence and could not stop his obsession even while incarcerated at the jail. His obsession with violence is in part what caused defendant to commit the underlying offense.
While first-degree murder typically carries an automatic life sentence for adults in Michigan, the shooter's age at the time of the crime presents the judge with a range of options. Judge Rowe can now choose between imposing a life sentence or a shorter term, ranging from 25 to 40 years, with the potential for eventual freedom. This hearing was the result of significant decisions from both the
You better not get no goddamn freedom. Freedom my ass. This ain't Beyonce. Freedom, freedom, I can't. No, not him.
U.S. Supreme Court and the Michigan Supreme Court regarding the treatment of teenagers convicted of murder. Prosecutors bore the burden of proving that a life sentence in the Oxford tragedy would...
This nigga look ugly. This nigga look like a bug. You ever been on vacation somewhere, you looking all cute and shit, you see that ugly ass bug, you like, ew, get away from me, you messing up my cuteness.
Not be an excessive punishment. Judge Rowe, in a nearly hour-long opinion, stated that they had successfully met that burden. He emphasized that the crime was not the result of impetuosity or recklessness, but rather a carefully planned and executed act of violence. The shooter had downloaded a school map, calculated the likely police response time, and even researched where Michigan teens are placed in prison.
Ain't nothing mentally wrong with him. The fact that he did all of that, well, there's something that is mentally wrong with him. Well, no, not really. He just went around shooting people. Anyway, no, something's wrong with him, but what I'm trying to say is, before y'all say, what TT, what you mean? Because he went around shooting people. I mean, it is something wrong with him. It is something wrong with him, but what I'm trying to say is, he knew what he was doing, because look at all the stuff he did. You sitting there Googling this, see, if something's really wrong with you, you're just going to get the gun, start popping motherfuckers for no reason. Then there's something wrong with you. He can't stand trash. Something is wrong with him. He just did that out of nowhere. He didn't care about it. He just started shooting motherfuckers. He purposely planned all that out, bro. I'm telling you, these dudes be trying to pull that whole mental problem. There don't be nothing really wrong with them.
Prosecutor Karen McDonald, who is advocating for a life sentence, expressed her hope that the judge's ruling would bring some comfort to the Oxford community as they prepare for the final hearing in December. Ethan Crumbley, now 17, and his defense team listened to the decision while in the county jail, but chose not to comment. Margaret Rabin, a defense attorney from the Detroit area not involved in the case, pointed out that the judge still has the option of imposing a term of years instead of a life sentence. The shooter pleaded guilty to murder, terrorism, and other crimes. Prior to the shooting, the teen and his parents had met with school staff after a teacher noticed violent drawings. Shockingly, no one checked his backpack for a gun, and he was allowed to remain in school. It was later revealed that the shooter had kept a journal in which he expressed his desire to watch students suffer and his belief that he would spend his life in prison. He even recorded a video on his phone the night before the shooting, outlining his plans for the next day. Defense lawyers argued that the shooter was in a devastating downward spiral, attributing it to severe neglect by his parents. They claimed that his parents had purchased a gun and taken him to a shooting range, exacerbating his troubled state. However, Judge Rowe disagreed with the defense's characterization of the shooter's home life, stating that despite his parents' shortcomings, he appeared to have had a loving and supportive family.
The judge said, bullshit? Bullshit? You're getting life?
The judge cited the shooter's own words, describing his childhood as good. In August, defense attorney Paulette Michelle Lofton argued that Crumbley should have the opportunity for parole in the future once his sick brain has been treated through counseling and rehabilitation. However, Judge Rowe remains unconvinced, stating that the possibility for rehabilitation is slim. The shooter's continued obsession with violence, even while incarcerated, played a significant role in the judge's decision. He accessed violent content on an electronic device, violating jail rules. Judge Rowe emphasized that for rehabilitation to occur, the defendant must genuinely desire change, and the evidence presented did not demonstrate that desire. The shooting at Oxford High School,
not at all. Drake voice.
Claimed the lives of Madison Baldwin, Tate Meyer, Hannah St. Juliana, and Justin Schilling, leaving the community devastated. Additionally, 6 students and a teacher were wounded in the attack. In a separate case, James and Jennifer Crumbley, the shooter's parents, are facing charges of involuntary manslaughter. They are accused of making a gun accessible at home and neglecting their son's mental health. The shocking details of this case have ignited a national conversation about the treatment of teenage offenders and the responsibility of parents in preventing such
I hate when a grab get on my lip. Don't y'all hate that? Y'all, that ever happen to y'all? You trying to be cute and shit? Like, come on now.
acts of violence. As the sentencing date approaches, the Oxford community and the nation anxiously await the final decision that will determine the shooter's fate. In a case that has gripped the nation, the sentencing of the Michigan teen shooter draws near. The arguments presented by the defense and prosecution have shed light on the shooter's background and the potential for rehabilitation. While the defense emphasizes the shooter's troubled upbringing and the need for treatment, the prosecution maintains that a life sentence without parole is the appropriate punishment. Judge Rowe, after carefully considering all the evidence and arguments, remains unconvinced of the shooter's potential for rehabilitation. The shooter's continued obsession with violence, even while incarcerated, and his violation of jail rules by—
All right, give him life already. Be ready for the next one. Like, what's happening? How y'all fast forward? I think it's L. There you go.
This tragedy lingers. Lives were lost, families shattered, and a community forever scarred. The case has sparked a national conversation about the treatment of teenage offenders and the responsibility of parents in preventing such acts.
Sentence? Well, what y'all waiting for?
Violence. Mason Sisk.
And when your children get up in the middle of the night and
He did it.
they're scared because they think there's a monster in their closet, or they
I forgot. They're already in prison. But I'm just saying, he just looked like he did it.
get up in the middle of the night and they're scared because they think there's a monster under their bed. Well, Mason Sisk was that monster. He was that monster in that basement who killed those children.
In a quiet town in Alabama, a tragedy unfolded
What in the Freddy Cougar?
that would forever stain the community's memory. Mason Sisk, a troubled teenager just 18 years old, would become the perpetrator of one of the most shocking crimes in recent history. On that fateful day in 2019, Mason's anger and frustration reached a boiling point, leading him to commit an act of unspeakable horror. With a cold and calculated mind, Mason Sisk took the lives of his own family members. His parents and 3 younger siblings fell victim to his chilling plan. The method he chose was as horrifying as the act itself. He shot each of them in the head, extinguishing their lives in an instant.
Nah. What in the Michael Myers?
He met deputies in the driveway and told them that he had been in the basement of the home and heard gunshots from the main level of the home upstairs. This was in the 25,000 block of Ridge Road in Elkmont, Alabama.
But what could drive a young man to commit such a heinous act against his own flesh and blood? The answer lies in the deep-seated anger and frustration that had been festering within Mason for years. He was fed up with his family, unable to bear the weight of their presence in his life any longer. The reasons behind Mason's actions are as disturbing as they are perplexing. The details of his motive reveal a troubled soul, consumed by a darkness that few can comprehend. The trial of Mason Sisk gripped the nation as the community sought justice for the unimaginable crime he had committed. Charged with 4 counts of capital murder, Mason faced a legal battle that would determine his fate. The weight of the evidence against him was undeniable, leaving little room for doubt. As the trial unfolded, the jury carefully examined the harrowing details of the case. They listened to testimonies, studied forensic evidence, and analyzed the chilling motive behind Mason's actions. After less than 2 hours of deliberation, the jury reached a unanimous verdict, guilty on all counts. The judge presiding over the case did not mince words.
Yeah, because he was on some Amityville horror. Remember in Amityville with dude about this whole family? I remember that.
When describing the nature of the crime. He called it ghastly, disturbing, and draped in unmitigated evil. The chilling details of the murders painted a picture of a crime so heinous that it sent shockwaves through the courtroom. Mason Sisk's conviction marked a turning point in the trial, as the community breathed a collective sigh of relief. The weight of the evidence and the shocking nature of the crime left little room for sympathy or doubt. The justice system had spoken, and Mason Sisk would spend the rest of his life behind bars.
Do you have anything to say, Mason, about your sentencing?
Throughout the trial, the shocking
He looked like he just was going to be a serial killer.
details of the crime unfolded, painting a picture of a troubled young man consumed by a darkness few can comprehend.
Listen, man, we're going to stop this right here. We're going to make it part 1. See, I told y'all it was, we going to stop it right now. You feel me? And then we're going to get at part 2. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe. We just getting warmed up. Let's hear about who else. These, yo, they getting younger and younger.